Petroleum. No one is quite certain about the origins of petroleum. Scientists believe that millions of years ago, most of the dry land in the world was covered with salt water. As the surface of the earth changed, some of these seas moved back. Over the years, dead plants, animals, and all types of organic matter were probably swept down into the seas by the rivers. As the clay and silt from the rivers sank to the ocean floor, they carried with them not only the rotting plant and animal matter, but also tiny creatures from the sea. Within this layer, certain bacteria started to work on the plant and animal matter. The bacteria gradually changed the plant and animal matter into a black, oily substance. As time went on, added layers of earth pressed down and squeezed this oily liquid out of the sand and mud in which it was contained. The mud and sand turned either into a hard, impenetrable rock called shale or into sandstone, which is very absorbent. After many millions of years, the original seafloor became folded or broken because of shifts in the Earth's crust. As a result, shallow hollows were often formed in the rock like layers of the Earth's surface. Some of these became traps in which the seawater and petroleum collected. These are deposits of oil. If you could see a cross section of the layers of rock and soil under an oiled rig, it would be something like this. At 1000 feet, there are gravel and clay. At 2000 feet, there is a layer of impenetrable rock. At 3000 feet, there is a layer of limestone soaked with methane gas. At 4000 feet, there is an arch formed of hard rock. At 5000 feet, there is a pool of gas and petroleum floating on top of water. Finally, at about 6000 feet, there is another rocky layer, which is probably the layer originally soaked with petroleum. The actual oil is a mixture of about 200 hydrocarbons. A hydrocarbon is a substance made mostly of hydrogen and carbon. The remaining parts are sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. Many people think that the use of petroleum began only about 100 years ago. At that time, an American, Edwin Drake, dug the first oil well near Titusville, Pennsylvania. Actually, the ancient peoples of Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, Assyrians, and Babylonians had developed uses for asphalt bitumen, a form of petroleum, as far back as 3000 BC. They found many everyday uses for bitumen. They used it for waterproofing their boats in their paints, for treating sores and inflamed eyes. They even used it as a magic potion to ward off evil spirits. After the Persian conquest of Babylon in 538 BC, the bitumen industry vanished. Early in the Christian era, however, the Arabs and Persians began to use the petroleum they found in pools and shallow trenches to make naphtha. Naphtha was important in warfare, for it was used in crude grenades, flamethrowers, and other weapons. Petroleum was first discovered in the United States during the 17th century by two French missionaries in the area that is now known as New York State. The first American to discover petroleum was the great pioneer Lewis Evans, who claimed that he had found oil at what is now Oil City, Pennsylvania. Today, the United States is by far the largest producer of petroleum in the world. Asia is the second largest petroleum producer. There are large oil fields in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran. Venezuela, Europe, and Russia are large producers of petrol. Since petroleum is buried so deep in the ground, locating it is a problem. A common process for finding petroleum is called the seismic reflector method. This process was discovered by German scientists and improved upon by American technicians. Dynamite is used to set off a small earthquake at the bottom of a well, perhaps 90 feet deep. The explosion causes vibrations to travel down through the different rocky layers. These vibrations bounce back again to the Earth's surface. Certain types of rock or soil send back the vibrations much more quickly than others. In this way, specialized technicians can tell exactly what kind of earth and rock is below the surface. Once an oil deposit has been found, the ground is pierced by an enormous drill. The drill is made of heavy steel and consists of a bit fixed to the end of a hollow rod. The rod, supported by a high metal tower known as a derrick, is turned by an engine. As the rod turns, it goes deeper and deeper into the ground. While the drill is operating, tubes known as casing are sunk into the hole to prevent it from collapsing. The drill rod is constantly pumped full of heavy mud, which cools the cutter and also carries bits of broken rock to the surface. Once the oil bearing layer is reached, the black liquid shoots up the hollow rod under pressure from the gases deep in the earth. When the oil comes to the surface, it is full of impurities and is known as crude oil. The petroleum is stored in great tanks. Then it is forced through enormous pipes that lead to refineries. In the refineries, it is purified and broken down into its different component parts. Because petroleum is made up of many substances which boil at different temperatures, it is possible to separate its various parts by heating it. As the heat gets higher and higher, one part after another of the petroleum vaporizes. As each part does so, it is siphoned off from the top of the still. Once the vapors have been collected, they are cooled. As they cool, they become liquid again. Now they are naphtha, benzene, gasoline, or kerosene. The mass remaining in the still is made into lubricating oil and fuel oil. In one form or another, we make daily use of a wonderful material that was formed millions and millions of years ago below the earth's crust. Petroleum provides us with gas for cars and aeroplanes, with lubricating oil to keep our machines running, with kerosene for lamps, fuel oil for heat and for trains and battleships, naphtha for lights, paints, and varnishes. It provides us with tar, coke, crayon, candles, and even chewing gum. Thank you very much.